Yo, what's up? We're back with more movie review. All right, so today we got three movies to talk about: Obsession, no, not He Man, not He Man, Masters of the Universe, and Scary Movie. Technically six, but let's start with Obsession. Obsession. I am obsessed with this movie, and I might watch it again. So if you're thinking about it, go watch it now while it's in theaters. This is a must see in the movie theater. And the movie theater. Oh, my name's Gordon. By the way, by the way, yeah. So I did something very dumb, because I am an A-list. What is it? The AMC A-list member. So, when they stop the movie and they say, hey, thank you to all the A-list A members, you gotta wave to the fucking crowd. Oh, I know, it's me. You've seen those videos. But you get 4 free movies a week. And this is not an advertising for AMC unless they want to pay me. But I did something stupid and I watched these 3 movies the same day, the same night, back to back to back. Don't ever do that. That was it was terrible. It was the movies were good, most of them, 2 out of 3. But just being in the movie theater back to back to back, because I've always wanted to do that. It was not fun. It was not fun. The most I've done is like I'd watch a movie one day and then go back the next day, which I did for the Michael Jackson movie. Went back and watched Mortal Kombat. Anyways, so I watched Obsession first, which was unironically the best movie that I saw, not only that day, but probably all year. It's up there with Mortal Kombat 2. It's up there with, Michael Jackson was cool. But I think Obsession is like the best movie of the year so far. And then next week, or this week, Disclosure Day comes out. It's getting good reviews. And then another movie, The Furious, is coming out. Well, which everyone says is as good as The Raid, action-wise. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta watch all these movies. So I'm gonna start very non-spoilery with Obsession. Yeah, I am obsessed with this movie. I didn't really know too much about it other than it was made by like a YouTuber guy. And that's not to like demean him in any way because this is a really good movie. I think he did another movie before this, but this is like some top tier stuff because not only has it been out for like a month, it made its money back like times 100. Like it made 100 million over the like 750,000 it took to make this movie. Everyone's joking around how Indy Navarrete made like 40,000 bucks off this movie, which I hope is not true, because she made the movie like 10 times better. She's half the reason why this movie is so damn good. As opposed to the script and the other actors as well. But man, this girl acted her ass off, bro. And I think there are some parts where she's like moving, like kind of like a like the pop locking, like a doll in the corner. People are saying that was her and not too much like special effects or the uncanny valley special effects. Let me tell you how powerful word of mouth is, okay? Because I only knew about this movie like 2 weeks ago because people were sharing TikToks. Probably shouldn't be doing this, but like filming the movie and then putting people's reactions, which I love. I love audience reactions. And then just putting like the craziest parts. Because I didn't know this movie came out. It had already been out. And some people were talking about it. Some of the movie reviewers were talking about it. But now everybody's talking about it. And it's like even 2-3 weeks out, it's still getting sold out. Still getting sold out. People putting asses in the theaters. And for good reason. Because not only did I see like some of the best parts of the movie, but there's so much more to it. There's so much you're like, because you're just waiting to see how homegirl, Miss Freaky Nikki, is gonna react. And that's the thing with this movie. It's a horror movie, but it's not really scary. When I went, people were scared in the theater. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, this movie's not as scary as it is interesting. It is so interesting. You just want to know how people are gonna react, why people were saying the things that they're saying, especially Bear. That fool's an idiot, by the way. I would see comments before seeing this movie and on TikToks. It's like, oh, Bear deserved it. Bear did this, Bear did. I was like, okay, let me go in this with an open mind and see what Bear did. make my own judgment. No, he did that shit. It's his fault. It's what an idiot, bro. What an idiot. Not spoiling yet. Not spoiling yet. Yeah, the acting's great. Indy is like the reason why this movie is so good. The special effects is not like too crazy. Like I said, the Uncanny Valley. I don't know if you guys. It's not a spoiler, but she posted a thing on her TikTok or whatever of her wearing the makeup. And it's like, bro, that shit. It's like halfway disturbing, halfway like if you put it in the dark, oh, you can see, you can see. Yeah. But so yeah, go watch this movie. That's my spoiler-free review. Now I'm gonna talk spoilers. So if you don't, if you ain't about that, if you ain't about that, we about to be about that. So yeah, let me just look at my notes. Bear's a dumbass. Okay, I'm just gonna read you what I wrote. Bear's a dumbass. He deserved it. Ian sucks, but was funny, and he looked like the real Slim Shady. Bear needed the powers of darkness and everything to overcome the fact that Nikki did not like him, even though she threw him a bone and be like, "Do you like me? Do you like me?" Still couldn't man up and say it. And Ian does suck, by the way. Great actor, terrible character, but he was hitting that on and off and didn't even tell his boy. And he was trying to get at it. He's trying to help him, be like, "Oh, yo, that's all you, bro." At the same time, he's like wiping the lipstick off of his mouth. Nikki was taken over by a demon, but Bear was just desperate. And that was even worse than being taken over by a demon. Because not only did his depravity lead him to wishing a demon onto the girl that he supposedly really liked, even though he didn't know it would be a demon, but he shouldn't have made that dumb wish anyways, and go to like a voodoo shop where everyone's got attitude apparently. But even when she was asleep and Nikki was like trying to cry for help, and it's like, "Please just end my life," and he's like, "What's so wrong about being with me?" Like, bro, she fed him his dead cat, and he still showed up the next day. He's like, "So what do you want to do?" I mean, he was freaked out, but he's like, he was still with it. He was still about it. I was like, "Bear, you tripping, bro?" And then even when she taped the door, he's still there. Even when she stood in the corner, her face was barely visible, and she's crying. Oh my God, I love that scene, by the way. That's one of my favorite scenes. After all that, he's still like, "What's so wrong about being with me?" It's like, bro, everything. That guy's nuts. And you know, he did deserve what happened to him. I mean, I hate to be that guy. I hate to go that far. But he did. He took the pill. I don't know if he would have shot himself, but he took the pills. Another one of my favorite scenes, which is another scene that everyone knows, is when she's walking backwards, right? You can kind of hear what she's saying. But then after she does that, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's okay." He's like, "You're scaring me." It's like, "No, everything's okay, it's okay." And she does like a pump fake. She's like, "Oh, fuck." She's like, "Hood." So usually when I go to the movie theaters, I try not to sit next to too many people, or I try not to have people next to me, especially when I go alone. And so, unfortunately, it was packed, so I had to sit next to somebody. So there was a couple next to me, and there's a dude next to me. And then, you know, for the most part, I kind of you feel the presence, right? You know they're next to you, and you're trying to be nice. You're trying not to be too loud, all this stuff. But usually when I'm like that, I'm like uncomfortable, and I can't focus on the movie. But this movie, there were times where I just totally forgot they were there. And when that scene happened, when she does the pump fake, I was trying so hard not to laugh my ass off. I was trying so hard, and people weren't laughing. People were like, "Oh my God." I was fucking, oh my gosh, it was so funny. And then I went to use the bathroom sometime during the movie. And then, you know that hallway, like right before you go out? I saw people that were about to walk in, so I just stood in the hallway waiting for them to come in. Like, "No, come in, come in." And then the couple comes in that sat next to me, and the girl turns to me and she's like, "I almost fucking screamed." I was like, "My bad." And then another girl comes right after. It's like, "Get the fuck out of there! What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Bro, I'm trying to go to the bathroom, right? Just go. But yeah, Sarah did not deserve to die. Yeah, it was just so interesting seeing what the demon would do. This is one of those movies where you kind of want to go back and watch again, because people are like, "Oh, that's Nikki fighting the demon coming out," and that's her really talking. Because there are parts where she's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And it happens a lot more often than you probably think. And so I was like, "Oh, that'd be cool to watch." It'd be like from the very beginning. and maybe there's some like foreshadowing there. I love the faces that Homegirl made. She's a really good actor. Like the face that I put in the thumbnail, which was like, Somebody asked her. I saw a clip. Somebody asked her, "Is that CGI?" No, that's my face. That's my face, and she loves doing it. So that was cool. One thing I love about these kind of movies is that they try not to go too realistic with like how people would react. Like if Bear was a real person, I don't know if he would go this far, even though they do a good portrayal of him going to the lengths that he did to just stay in love with this girl that do not like him. That do not like him. But one of the scenes that I love is when she's at the party. This is the pouty face scene. When she's at the party and then she's just there laughing a little too hard and people are noticing and being like, And then she's like louder than the music. And then I think she does like a poem. I don't know. I don't remember if someone told her to be like, yo, spit that shit. But she just gets up. She starts saying this crazy shit. It's like, Barry, you're my only one. I forgot what she said. And then everyone just kind of looks at her like, okay. No one, my thing is like, no one's overreacting enough for me. No one's being like, hey, yo, that's a demon. That girl crazy. Everyone's just like accepting and trying to go along with the party. I was like, I would have been gone, bro. I would have been gone. As soon as she pulled Sarah's chair, she's like, kiss the person next to you. And she pulled her out of the way. Yeah, like I said, Indy Navarrete made this movie. So dope. Make sure to go watch it again if you can. I kind of want to watch it again in the theater. It was so fun. That's my review of Obsession. I'm obsessed. I know you are too. Go watch it. Like, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the movie. Tell me your theories. Something I missed. This movie was great. Moving on. Masters of the Universe, not He-Man. I don't know why they don't call these things He-Man. I know He-Man came out with a half anime, half American made cartoon where he like died in the first episode, and it was about like She-Ra or Tila. I don't know why they don't want to call it just straight up He-Man. Call it He-Man, I got the power, and then you got like half the audience in there. This movie was okay. It was all right. Somebody asked me because they saw that I went to go see the movie. He's like, "Hey, I heard that movie sucked." I was like, you know what? Halfway through the movie, I was like, kind of. Nah, it's not as bad as people make it out to seem. I saw a Twitter comment, something, quote, whatever. It's like, this is the most, I guess, movie I've ever seen. Because if you're going to go watch it, it'd be like, I guess. It's a total, like, movie you would see at the dentist. Here's what I'll tell you the movie has going for it. There's a lot of comedy. The actors are good. The guy playing He-Man is really damn good. I mean, that's He-Man. As He-Man as you can get. Jared Leto as Skeletor is why you see this movie. This guy, I don't know if it's because you can't see his face. I don't know if because you can't tell it's his voice. I haven't heard that motherfucker in a long time. But bro, this dude brought Skeletor to life. The CGI, like on his face, everything just looked good. The costume, everyone's costume looked pretty good. You know, especially considering like they're modeled after toys, made to look realistic but not too realistic because they do look a little cartoony, even brought to real life. But I think I enjoyed this movie. I think also because this was the second movie I saw that day back to back, and my legs were just fucking hurting, bro. I was like a little uncomfortable, but as I was watching, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of action. The special effects aren't bad. When he goes He-Man for the first time, it looks pretty sick. Like I'm gonna spoil that. No one gives a fuck. I'm gonna spoil it. He goes He-Man, and it just looks straight up like a Super Saiyan transformation. The music picks up. The CGI just totally doubles, triples. You see the lightning, and he just fucking kicks ass right after. That's good. The movie just felt like a little too long. It was like 2 hours. Damn. Should have been like an hour and a half. Should have been like an hour 40, 46 at the most. But yeah, there's just a lot of like emotional moments that just don't matter because unless they're planning to do a sequel with these characters, I mean, they're fucking toys, dude. They're toys brought to life, and they're trying to make it super like I don't know, Marvel-esque. Like I know there's a way to do it. Marvel has done it. But speaking of Marvel, let's go back to Skeletor. Skeletor steals every scene in the movie. He's the reason why you watch, but he is like the perfect Marvel villain. Like he's the villain that they've been trying to make. Like I could see him going up against Spider-Man. Like if he was in any of the Spider-Man movies, I would have loved that. And I don't mean like Taskmaster because he's a very serious dude. This Skeletor, I never really watched the cartoon growing up, but the Skeletor, he's like half serious, half goofy, and they do a really good job of like writing that line because one moment he's like very menacing, and you could see like it's kind of people are scared of him, and he produces results. Okay, he's not afraid to swing that stick around, pause, and zap some motherfuckers. But he also is not afraid to like be goofy and be like mine, mine, mine. Yeah, I think he's like everything Marvel wishes they had for like half of their movies, especially the last everything after Avengers, Doomsday. Oh, not Doomsday. Everything after Avengers, what Endgame? Like they could have had someone like Skeletor just fucking carry a lot of these movies, man. But yeah, bro, when he showed up with like those little hallucinations where he put himself in like the world of the humans and he's like wearing the Nike, he's like trying to work out. I was like, yeah, what's going on with those muscles, bro? Those glistening muscles. Like even those scenes where it just felt like out of place, it just felt like normal. It felt good because he was that good of an actor. You know what? I know people give Jared Leto a lot of hate because if he played Joker, he did, kind of a weird thing with it. There's some things in his personal life that I just don't know that I've heard that I don't care to know. I don't want to look into that. So I try to go into this with like an open mind, just try to watch the performance. But I really do think it helps that you can't see his face. So yeah, I thought it was okay. If you can watch it on streaming, watch it on streaming. Last but not least, Scary Movie 6. Oh. Okay, I was so excited. This is like the movie I wanted to see the most, next to Obsession. Man, man. I have a lot of problems with this movie. I heard that this movie scored very low on Rotten Tomatoes, and I know you're not supposed to trust Rotten Tomatoes because it's just like these critics, and then not everything's positive, even then when it is positive. It got like a 20%, and people, like the audience score wasn't out yet. And so everyone's like, oh, that's a good sign. These movies aren't supposed to be good. They're supposed to be crazy, supposed to be super anti-PC, all this stuff. Now, look, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, everything's too PC. You can't say this, can't say that. I'm not like too crazy on that. I get there's an argument there, but like, at least make the movie good. Make the movie good, and you can say whatever the fuck you want. It's like Anthony Jeselnik once said. Good, what the fuck did he say? He said something along the lines of like, dark comedy is getting away with it. Getting away with it being like making the joke good enough so you can kind of say whatever without it being in bad taste and not being like super aggressive, not aggressive, but like having a lot of negativity as opposed to just making a good joke and having some dark, humor in there. I'm having a hard time describing this movie because I was kind of disappointed. Scary Movie 3 is one of my favorite movies of all time. I said it before. Scary Movie 3, I've had fond memories of watching that. But I compare that movie to this movie, and there is like a story. Like because it's about signs, right? Signs, and then they throw in as many parodies to other stuff as they can, do 8 Mile, all that stuff. Another movie which I fucking love. That's probably why I like him so much. But with this movie, it's like we have the killer, and he's gonna kill us. And then we're talking about rebooticals, and they just try to throw in as many like cultural references as they can. They do a Get Out reference, which is like years too late. I don't even know when that movie came out. It's been a while. So it just felt like they were just trying to throw everything at the wall. Everything that was popular in the last, like, I don't know, 6-7 years. 6-7? I'm surprised they didn't make that joke. They threw Kai Cenat in there, which I didn't mind, but like there could have been a better way to do it other than just have him there, just be himself. I don't know. It was just not really thought out. Not a lot of story holding the movie together, which is crazy because even though like the first two movies are about making fun of the genre of that kind of horror movie, there was still like something there that held everything together and it felt like a movie. This one just feels like TikTok brain. It just feels like random things happening over and over and over. Oh, there's a K-pop sequence, and I was like, oh my god. And then they're doing the streaming thing, and then they're might referencing movies, and then the old movies. I was disappointed. The standout is definitely Anna Faris and Regina. They're like the best. They're what made these movies for me, honestly. The Wayne's brothers, they're funny, but I did get taken out a little bit when they're like, "Oh, I hate when you people call me Unk." I'm the Gen Z humor, just making fun of like the younger generation, which just makes them sound old. I don't like when they did that. I thought they would be above that. I thought they would just go straight jokes and then not have to complain about being older. Like that made me feel old, and I am old. So just hearing that is just not like you're just complaining in a movie. But yeah, I was a little disappointed. I mean, there is some funny stuff. Somebody asked me if I liked this movie. I said it was terrible. Yeah, it sucks because I do love these characters. I love the franchise. I thought it would come back and just fucking be so good, and then I maybe that was my problem. I just had such high expectations, but man, what a letdown. Anyways, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Let me know what you thought of these movies. Am I wrong? I might be. I could be. Sometimes I am. But yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you next time. Peace.